What if walking pain-free at 102 wasn't luck, but biology? I climbed stairs daily into my hundreds. No pills, no pain. My secret? A few simple habits that cooled inflammation, rebuilt my joints, and kept my body light. And these aren't just traditions, they're now backed by modern science. Let me walk you through what worked for me, so you can begin today. In Japan, we age differently. I practiced medicine past 100, and still walked everywhere. Not because I was strong, but because I respected rhythm. What you'll hear today are 4 simple research-backed habits I live by. They kept my knees light, my heart calm, and my days joyful. Let's begin with the one I practiced at every meal, and why it softened my pain more than any pill. 1. The 80% rule, how I ate less and lived more. You know, people often say to me, "Doctor, you must have eaten a very special diet to live past 100. But the truth is, I didn't eat anything fancy. I just stopped before I was full. In Japan, we call it hara hachibu. It means eat until you're 80% full, not stuffed, not heavy, just satisfied enough. Most of my friends in the West were taught the opposite. Finish your plate. Don't waste food. But when you always eat to full or beyond, your body never gets a chance to rest. When I ate just a little less, I moved easier, I thought clearer, and I slept like a calm lake at night. I remember one woman I spoke with, Helen, 68. She always felt bloated after dinner. She thought it was just part of aging. But I asked her to try something simple. Halfway through your meal, pause, put the fork down, take a breath. Ask yourself, am I still hungry, or just finishing out of habit? She smiled when she told me, "Doctor, I didn't change what I ate, just how I ate, and suddenly I felt light again." You see, it's not about restriction, it's about rhythm. When you eat with awareness, your body responds with clarity. Your joints feel less burdened, your mind stops dragging. Try it just once tonight, eat a little slower, and when you feel like you could keep going, pause. That's where the healing begins, not at the bottom of the plate, but in the space you leave behind. 2. Movement as medicine. Why I took the stairs at 100. People often ask me, "Doctor, how did you still walk so well in your 90s? Weren't your knees tired?" But the truth is, I never stopped moving. Even in my hundreds, I still climbed stairs, slowly, carefully, but every day. Not because I was trying to exercise, but because I believed in staying in rhythm with the body. Movement to me was never a chore, it was a form of care. You see, after a certain age, pain often comes not because we move too much, but because we move too little. The joints stiffen, the muscles forget, and inflammation, that silent weight inside the body, begins to build up like smoke in a closed room. But when you move, even gently, it's like opening a window. You let the fire out, and the air returns. Frank, a retired train conductor I knew, had stopped walking his block. He said his knees felt swollen, and he didn't trust his balance anymore. I told him, "You don't need to walk far, just a few stairs each day. Use the railing, let your legs remember." So, he set up a stepper in his hallway. Every morning, just 3 steps up, 3 steps down. By week 3, he said something I'll never forget. "My knees still crack a little, but I'm not afraid of them anymore." And that's the thing. It's not about strength, it's about trusting your body again. Start with 5 minutes, stairs if you have them. Or just stand and shift your weight side to side. Let your body feel alive again. Because the goal isn't exercise, it's remembering that motion, even the smallest, is a form of healing. And sometimes, just 1 step forward is all it takes. 3. Fermented foods and the gut garden. When I was growing up in Japan, every meal came with something fermented. A bit of miso, a spoonful of pickled radish, sometimes just a few bites of natto, sticky and strong, but powerful. I didn't know the science at the time, I just knew. When I ate these foods, my body felt calm, my digestion quiet, my joints less stiff. Years later, scientists began to talk about the gut, not just as a place to digest food, but as a second brain, a garden of its own. As we age, that garden begins to thin out. The helpful bacteria fade, the walls grow weaker, and suddenly, things like joint pain, fatigue, even brain fog become more common. But when you eat fermented foods, like miso, kimchi, even plain yogurt, it's like inviting good workers back into your garden. They rebuild the fences, they plant balance, and they clean up what inflammation leaves behind. There was a woman I met, Rosa, 71. She told me she felt heavy after every meal, no matter what she ate. I asked her to try one small thing, a tablespoon of fermented food with lunch. That's it. 2 weeks later, she said, "Doctor, I don't feel bloated anymore. I feel clear." Not because she changed her diet, but because she nourished the tiny life inside her gut. If you've never tried fermented foods before, start simple. A spoonful of miso stirred into warm broth. A few slices of kimchi with dinner. Let it be small. Let it be gentle. Your body will notice. Because healing doesn't always come from what we take out. Sometimes it comes from what we invite back in. 4. Telomere rescue, light movement, slower aging. When I was a boy, my mother used to fix our shoes with thick black laces. At the ends of each lace was a little plastic cap. She told me, "Without this, the whole lace unravels." Many years later, as a doctor, I learned that our DNA has something similar. Tiny caps called telomeres. And just like those shoelaces, when the caps wear down, things start to fray. After 60, those telomeres shorten faster. The body gets slower to repair. Tiredness lingers longer. Wounds take their time. But there's something beautiful. Gentle movement, done daily, helps protect those threads. Walking, stretching, even slow dancing alone in your living room. It tells your cells, "I'm still here. I'm still growing." Linda, 66, came to me once, tired of feeling tired. She didn't want a workout plan. She didn't want a gym. She just wanted her mornings back. I told her, find a rhythm that feels kind. So she started Tai Chi, 10 minutes a day, under a tree, with soft music. 3 months later, her doctor told her, "Your blood work looks younger." But what she told me was more important. I feel rooted again, like I belong to my own body. You don't have to run. You don't have to sweat. Just move, like you're watering something gentle inside of you, your joints, your cells, your spirit. Because aging isn't the enemy, stagnation is. So take a walk, stretch your arms, and let your body remember, you're not falling apart. You're still unfolding. 5. A day in rhythm, how these habits fit together. I never had a strict routine, but I did follow a rhythm, gentle, simple, predictable. And looking back, it wasn't the big things that kept me walking. It was the small ones, done with care. In the morning, I stretched beside the window. Not long, just enough to feel my spine wake up. At breakfast, I moved slowly. A small bowl of rice, a little fish, and miso soup. Just one spoonful of something fermented to feed the inside. I worked, I walked, and always I climbed at least one flight of stairs. Even if I had nowhere to go, I went, because motion was my medicine. At dinner, I ate simply, and stopped just before I was full. That pause, it was powerful. It told my body, you've had enough. Rest now. These weren't tasks, they were invitations to breathe, to feel, to stay present in my body. If this feels like too much, just choose one. Pick the one your body misses most. Maybe it's movement. Maybe it's lightness after eating. Maybe it's just feeling clear again. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just sharing the rhythm that kept me walking, quietly, joyfully, into my hundreds. And if it speaks to you, maybe it can become your rhythm too. I never chased long life. That was never the goal. I simply listened. To my legs when they asked for movement, to my stomach when it said, "That's enough," to my breath when it needed space. And day by day, those small choices carried me into a life with less pain, more ease, and a body I could still trust, even at 102. You don't need to live in Japan to feel that. You just need a rhythm that's kind to you. So, let me ask, which one of these habits speaks to you most right now? Eating with more awareness, a little more movement? Or maybe bringing something fermented back to your meals? Let me know in the comments. Your voice might be the gentle nudge someone else needs. And if this felt helpful, if it reminded you that healing is still possible, hit subscribe, because here we don't chase youth. We walk with wisdom. Together.